How to improvise a prelude in a style of Francisco Tarrega. Hello guys, today I'd like to talk about how to improvise a prelude in a style of Francisco Tarrega. It means in a more romantic style, and for that purpose I will use the famous prelude in D major. This prelude provides us a very simple harmony and a very simple texture that we can use like model to create our own improvisation. So the first step is turn the prelude into a partimento or a figured bass. This will help us understand the harmony. As you can see, I'm using the language of the figured bass to analyze the harmony. For me, it's a more easy way to understand harmony, especially harmony of the 18th and 19th century. So for that purpose, we are not thinking in Roman numerals or any inversion theory. We are thinking just in rule of the octave and suspensions and some pedals. Tarrega uses a very simple progression. It's a very characteristic progression of a romantic style. 1, 5, 1, 5, and then instead of going to the first degree, he does a deceptive cadence going to the sixth degree. And after that, he plays a little arpeggio with the notes of the harmony of the sixth degree. And then 7th degree, 6/5 chord, 5th degree, the 7th chord, and then a cadence to the first degree. In that first degree, he uses an arpeggio as texture, and then he goes for a very common progression that is 1, then he tonicize the 6th degree using the 7 of the 6, then he tonicize the 5th degree using the 7th degree of the 5th degree. But in that 7th degree, he uses a diminished 7. Then in the final movement, he plays a pedal using a 6/4 harmony. After the pedal, he plays something that is not actually a real harmony, but is more like a retard or a chromaticism to go for the 5th degree, the 7th chord, right? And then he finished in the first degree. So once we have understand the harmony and the structure of the prelude, it's interesting to take a look in the texture. In the top voice, Tarrega creates a melody, and in the middle voices he uses like arpeggios that works as fills, right? So here we have a melody. Right? We have that melody. That's the idea, to use the top voice to create a melody, and then in the middle voice we are going to arpeggiate to fill that melody, right? Now, in order to create our own improvisation, we are going to change the key. I decided to change D major to A major to create my own improvisation. So it's interesting, before applying the texture, it's interesting playing just chords in order to get more confident with the harmony and the progression. I will show start from here. Then the arpeggio. Arpeggio. But you can start from any place in the neck of the instrument. For example, you can start here. Pay attention that in the top voice we are going to create a descendant melody. It works very well for that purpose. Or right? It's very interesting to create that kind of melody. Now it's time to apply the texture. So my improvisation will be like this. Also, we can add some dissonances. A ninth, octave, 6, that becomes a ninth, octave, and here will become a seventh. There's a lot of options we can try to explore adding dissonances. In a more advanced level, we can try to change the structure. We can try to modify the structure of the harmony, adding some chords, adding some progressions that aren't in the Tarrega prelude, right? So I will give you an example. So you can use your imagination, your fantasia to try to explore the prelude, the Tarrega's prelude, like a structure, and then develop it more ideas. I played just a simple idea. An example is almost infinite. The ideas that we can apply on this structure. So if you like this content, follow me here. Subscribe to my channel. If it's possible, leave a comment.